Right, my name is Hugo, and I'm the second affirmative, and I'm a big supporter of making companies equally responsible for water usage. I do have to agree the landscaping is a great part. It's not a big part of the water usage. It's at least 2%. The problem with it is not only residents contribute to landscaping, irrigation, we also have national parks and parks that are run by governmental institutions, and they do contribute to the waste of water a lot. For example, I was just driving by my house 2 days ago. I live in Fontana, and they have these cul-de-sacs. And in most of these areas, they have huge parks. And if you drive by at 2 in the morning, the sprinklers are just wasting water, and they're not even aimed towards the grass areas. They just run down the street. So that has to be regulated by someone, in the government especially. He talked about wealthier people getting advantage or taking advantage of how the system is run already. And I do have to agree, especially big companies like oil companies and companies like Starbucks, Nestle, these companies that have multiple stores or places where they use water. Since they're not restricted as residents, they just don't really care. Another reason why the government should restrict the use of water for businesses is because they do take advantage of the system. For example, I just talked about oil companies. They take extreme advantage of the use of water because the government issues them permits. And to explain the oil industry, the oil industry drills about 171 injection wells into aquifers, and these are aquifers that, if the water is treated, it could be good enough to be potable and used by residents in the California areas. These wells, this water is injected into aquifers with counts of 3,000. Counts are the salts and other solid dissolvents that go into the water, and if the water has 500 or less, it is drinkable, so it is treatable, so we can use it. But if it's more than 500, then it wouldn't be usable. And the problem is that these leftover water that the oil companies use, they just dump it into these aquifers, and these water has a count of 3,000 or more. So they're actually contaminating our water reservoirs. And we do have a really big problem with the droughts. Just gonna support what he talked about earlier about NASA saying that we're in the lowest levels. Evidence from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. For example, in the Pine Flat Lake, water capacities have been dropping. In 2009, it was 68%. In 2013, it dropped to 42%. And the capacity that we have as of right now is 17%. So if you take a look at the lake, it's totally dry. Big companies, they do benefit from cheap water. Even though people are questioning the water use for agriculture purposes, there is also another issue with water bottle companies as Nestle, as we mentioned before. To explain more, residents are questioning why beverage companies, especially Nestle waters, are allowed to pump water out of aquifers for pennies on the dollar, and then during the ongoing drought, pennies on the dollar during the ongoing drought, and then selling it back to the consumer or to the residents, a huge profit. And they don't have any restrictions or any rules that are expensive enough for them to cut down on the usage, the profit on water. Now the pressure is on Sacramento, where activists says that companies are draining local aquifers in California of as much of 80 million gallons annually. So they even formed a human barricade late last month to shut down Nestle local plant per day, because they really do take advantage of the usage of water. Going further with the abuse of companies on the use of water, I will mention Starbucks. Going for the use of water, we can take a look at Starbucks, that environmental campaigners have attacked Starbucks after the discovery that millions of liters of water are wasted into its coffee shops every day. And this not only happens with Starbucks, this happens with any restaurants or coffee shops. Some of them are required to keep water running to supposedly watch utensils used to prepare drinks, in the case of Starbucks, to prepare coffee. An investigation by the Sun revealed that over 23.4 liters of water are poured down the drain of 10,000 outlets worldwide due to a policy of keeping tap running non-stop. That's what I meant earlier. So water wasted by Starbucks is enough. Water wasted by Starbucks is enough daily water for the entire 2 million population of Namibia in Africa. If we were to put restrictions on it, then they would be more conscious on it and probably wasted less